Hi, this is Matt Landefer with Oregon Life Homes. I want to welcome you to 261 Old Booth Lane here in Glendale, Oregon. I want to give you a tour of the neighborhood, the property, and of course, the house itself. So let's go take a look. So starting with the neighborhood, this property is fully fenced. Always really nice. And I believe a portion of this property is also this driveway here. I'm getting some conflicting information depending on the source. Some of it says it only goes down to the end of the fence line, and then another source says that it goes all the way down to the end of the road, which would just mean that there would be several easements for anyone else using this driveway. As you can tell, this is a very, very quiet neighborhood. You're literally on a gravel road, surrounded by farmlands. On the right here we have cattle, and over here on the left side there were horses. This is pretty much the edge of the property line from here down. Glendale is a very small town. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. Glendale is a very small town, surrounded by trees. It's a old logging town, I believe. You're roughly 40 minutes from Roseburg and 40 minutes from Grants Pass. So as long as you don't mind a little bit of a commute, this is a great area. It's quiet, taxes are low, and you can find some really nice property for a fairly inexpensive price. I mean, all things considered. Just because these are, you wouldn't be able to find 2-acre fully fenced property in town for under $400, that's for sure. But that being said, going back to the neighborhood, as you can see, the driveway goes up a little bit more. There's a few more houses up there. From what I can tell, all the houses seem to be in really good shape. I'm not seeing anything that looks run down or dilapidated or anything like that. Everything I'm seeing looks like this is just a well taken care of, quiet neighborhood, which is always nice to see. Moving on to the property itself, as I mentioned, is a fully fenced property. There is a gate here. It does look like there is possible to do a electric gate here, but that doesn't look like it's turned on at the moment. I'm not really sure what would be needed to have it turned on, but it's good to know that the infrastructure is there for it. While I'm touring the outside of the property, I always like to look at the roof. As well as the siding and foundation as I'm walking around. I'm going to look out for any dry rot, large cracks in the foundation, settling issues, things like that. I'm not a home inspector, but I've been to probably around over 150 home inspections at this time. I get a good idea of what I'm looking for. Like this. clearly, this gutter should be connected. I know, I sound like I have all the expertise, but just in my opinion, I feel like gutters should be connected to the house. Over here, you can clearly see this is where the septic tank is going to be. It's always good to know. And I like that how well and easy that's pointed out. This house is on well and on septic. Another thing to note is that even though it does have a heat pump for heating and cooling, or for heating, it does not have any cooling attached to it, despite it being built in 2007. Primarily almost all flat grounds here. This is where your crawl space is going to be here. I apologize for the rustling of paper. I just have a few notes that I'm flipping through. And there is a breeze. So that's what you're hearing. Let's take a quick look at the decking. Okay, so this is all that nice semi-plastic, I think it is, deck. This all looks like it's in great shape. The railing itself is wood, but I'm not really feeling any dry rot or seeing any dry rot or issues there. Walking around the house, the siding looks fantastic. It looks almost brand new. The roof itself, it looks like it could be cleaned off just because it has a bunch of debris from the trees, which is not a big deal. It's kind of something to note. But it looks like it's in fantastic shape. I'm not seeing any red flags there at all. Like I said, the property itself is all very flat, well taken care of. I'm fairly impressed by this property. I do also love that it has a whole house Generac generator, which we can see right here. These are great in case there's ever a storm. You don't have to worry about not having power. And as you're on well and septic too, you don't really have to worry about losing any of your utilities. Let's go take a look at the shop. And then after that, we'll go check out the house. Shop is in great condition. As you can see, it's not completely finished. But for what it is, it looks really good. Plenty of space to do whatever work you would like to do. There's an area back here that does look like it has, oops, sorry about that, full light and a bit of drywall. Clearly put in the window as well to make this room a little bit more hospitable. There's 110 volt power here, as well as water. It looks like they did put in, so I'm going to zoom out there, I apologize. Sink and toilet. Did not look like they finished this bathroom though, but I do like that there is a separate hot water tank here. I'm guessing for this here. And that one looks like is a 220 volt I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure. So I said, really nice shop. Pretty impressed by the size. If you have an RV or a camper, this is a perfect space for it. And then smaller garage to get any other equipment in. Right. Moving on. It does look like something on the property is running from primarily propane here, because you do have this very large tank here. Thankfully it is above ground. I'm not really sure what that's going towards though. It could be for the generator is my best guess. Just because the rest of the house is electric. Does look like the screen has fallen out of the spot right there. And then you do have looks like a fairly newer painted deck. Not entirely sure. Or there's a deep dark hole there. My guess there is that was for the gutters, but I'm not entirely sure there. Good question to note. So as we go into this house, I want to let you know that it was built in 2007. So it's 19 years old. It is a manufactured home, but you're going to see it's in amazing shape. As you walk in, right away there's this big open space here. This would be a perfect den, game room, whatever you may want to use it as, office space. Plenty of windows for that natural lighting. This is not one of the bedrooms. It should not be counted as one. There are 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And the entire property is, the entire house is 2,094 square feet. Taking a look at this, looks like a pellet stove. Yep, there we go. Insert pellet stove. Nice fan. You can tell they are doing some active work and upgrades. You can tell that just by the fact that they took that down, I'm guessing for repainting. And then there's a few outlet covers that are missing. And of course, that whole drawer is sitting right there. I do want to note there is no refrigerator. There's also no washer and dryer. But besides that, everything else looks like it's in great shape. The cabinet looks fantastic. There's plenty of storage space and a lot of counter space as well. Okay. Yeah, a lot of space in there. That's impressive. Does look like there's another outlet cover that's loose up there. Sadly, I am kind of short and cannot see that far up there. So I do apologize for that. And that's what I mean right there. But windows all look like they're in fantastic shape. I'm not seeing any of the seals being broken. It's nothing yet. A little streaky here and there, but nothing too bad. Comfortable hallway closet. This is your first bathroom here. Sorry, that was way too zoomed in there. Just want to check the caulking around the toilet. That all looks pretty good. I always like to check the ceilings of the bathrooms as well. A lot of times when they're not properly ventilated, you can get some mold in there. Thankfully, I'm not seeing any of that here, which tells me that the fan is working great. One sink, but plenty of drawer space there, which is always nice. We'll do the first 2 guest bedrooms first, and then the primary afterwards. Fairly good sized guest bedroom. Smaller closet space, but all in all, good sized. And the second one looks like exactly the same size and same layout. Both have similar views to the backyard. And closet space in there. And here we have the laundry room. Sink, cabinets for storage. Obviously this is where the washer and dryer would go. And here leads into the garage. This is a 2-car garage. Your filtration and well system is right here. So it doesn't have a proper well house, it just stays in the house, which is always easier, to be honest. There's no insulation in here, but looks like it's in pretty good shape for a garage. Yeah. Right here, it's for the generator. Yeah, everything looks fairly clean and normal in here. I just want to make sure, okay. All really well labeled. It's always nice to see. Also, this was put in at when this house was built. Okay, so moving on to that primary bedroom. So you walk in first, you get this really good sized walk-in closet. Great amount of space, and with both drawers here, plenty of space to hang clothing. Walking in, as you can see, the room is very spacious. Nice large window here. I do want to point out that there doesn't seem to be any blinds or curtains on any of the windows. It's not something that's entirely needed, but it is something to make a note of. I like this a lot, just because I'm married, but I like that there's 2 separate sinks. And then you have this nice large soaking tub here as well. Finally, the walk-in shower. Do another little tour there. Also, that's what I look like. Hi. Yeah, that was 261 Old Booth Lane here in Glendale. If you have any questions for me, or there's any other information I can get on this house, please let me know, and look forward to talking to you soon. I hope you have a great rest of your day.